Hello everyone. Today I am taking a template of my little friend here for a facial postiche. So I've got cling film, sellotape, a permanent marker and some scissors. And what I'm going to do is take a template of the area that I'm making a postiche for. So if you were doing eyebrows, you would do the same process up on the eyebrows, or sideburns, you do the same process on the sides. I'm doing a mustache today, so I'm taking a template of the upper lip. Now when you do this on your real life person, you might not want to put the cling film over the nose. I do move it in a minute, but she ain't gonna complain. There we go, now she can breathe. Check that they can breathe and they're comfortable. And what you need to do is hold the cling film over the area that you're taking the template, and then lots of small strips of sellotape over the top. And you do this all over the cling film. This is especially important if you're doing a chin piece, be it a little goatee or large beard, anything that's going to sit over a curved area. You sellotape over all of the cling film, so that what you get is like a three-dimensional kind of template of that area. So I've turned it around just to speed it up a little bit. The more sellotape you put on, the better, because it gives you a stiffer, more rigid, result to your template. For this part, you need to measure. I didn't have an actual tape measure. You do need a tape measure, but I'm just showing you with a ruler. You would measure along the jawline. You would measure the length of the mouth, the space between the top lip and the nose, just so you can double check your accuracy and record the measurements. And then with your permanent marker, you need to draw over the features. So if it's the lips or the jawline, or perhaps round by the ear if you're doing the sideburns, or the natural eyebrows, draw over them so that you can see where they would normally be. Tape over the top of your pen just to kind of make sure it doesn't get smudged or move. And once you've done that, you can then draw in exactly where your postiche is going to be. So you can draw in the shape of the moustache or the beard or the eyebrows or the sideburns, so that you can see exactly what it would look like if it was really there. And then from that, you can gauge the size of the piece that you're going to make. So I'm drawing in a little moustache. That's roughly where I want it to be. And then I'm going to tape over the top of that just to keep it in place. Make sure that I don't lose any of the detail, because you can see it's smudged a little bit already. So you tape over it just to make it more rigid. So what you end up with is this template, and it holds the shape of the chin. So I'm cutting off any excess. Now if I was doing like an actual full beard, I would have taped up a lot more and really captured the shape of my client's face, so that I could then use that to create the foundation net for that beard, the net that would be sewn together to fit their face shape perfectly. Now you need to transfer this template onto your block. So you can see that if this was a full beard, you could put this onto the block and still have their natural face shape. You can see that it projects. So what I would do is I would stuff that, I'd fill it with cotton wool and pack it really, really tight so that it's nice and firm and holds the shape of the chin. I'm not doing a chin piece here, I'm only doing the moustache. So I'm going to get rid of the rest of it and just leave myself the small moustache template. And that is going to sit on the flattest part of the block. The block is still slightly curved, as the moustache would be sitting along the top lip, but I don't want like a dramatic curve, so it's still on the flattest side. So what I'm getting ready now is my lace and my T-pins and my galloon or my ribbon. So the aim of the game is to get this lace slightly bigger than the template, because you need a little bit of room to play so that you can actually physically pin around the edge. And you want to have this lace as tight and taut as possible over the block. If it's too loose or too baggy, you are going to have a really tough time knotting hair into it. So I'm doing this back to front into the camera, so it's a little bit tricky, and I definitely would do a neater job if I had it facing me. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm pinning into that ribbon, because that ribbon is going to stop the lace from moving around and tearing as I'm knotting. Now, if you were doing this on a proper wooden block, you would use tacks, you would use little nails, and you'd hammer them into the wooden block through the lace and keep that really solid. But this works perfectly for what you need it to do. So I just use the same piece all the way around. I don't use separate pieces. I just fold it over and then keep it nice and tight and pin along. So I'm just going around and adding as many T-pins as I can to keep lots of tension on that lace. You don't want more on one side than the other, because that will cause the lace to tear. You need tension, it needs to be taut, and it needs to be secure. So the more you put in, the better. I think it also looks better as far as taking pictures for your step-by-steps go, when all the pins are in flush. You know, it looks neat when they're all facing the same way. It just looks like you have a little bit more care and attention to your craft. So once they're all in place, the lace isn't moving, it's tight, it's taut. My template is lined up nicely with the direction of the lace. Then you're ready to go.